Hi, Joel. Thank you for coming on the show again.
Thanks for having me, John. Sorry for the technical difficulties last week. I'm happy that we're making it work.
You got it. Well, I'm in LA. You're in New York. You grew up in LA. Is that right?
I did. I did. I was just visiting Philip and other family the last couple weeks, but I'm happy to be back in the land of good internet.
So when you come and visit, I mean, your father's the founder of the company, Immigration by Cerenade, and you're so active in the company now. Do you guys just talk about work the whole time, or how are you able to take that off your plate, or just separate that?
When I'm visiting, obviously, it's nice being in the same house and being able to have meetings next to each other rather than over the phone or on a meeting or something like that. But when it gets to the dinner table, my mom shuts off all work talk. So I think there are some limitations around
Yeah.
it, but it's definitely nice to be able to connect in person.
Yeah, parents always complain their kids don't call them anymore once they leave the home, once they're over 18. But working with your child's good because it's an excuse to talk every day and get stuff in there and see what's going on. So that's a one. I will, God willing, I'll be able to have some business where I can bring my kids. I don't want them to be lawyers, frankly. So I'm glad this immigration sellers toolbox will maybe become a bigger media company. I could work with them through that. But so tell me, what's up? What's new
Yeah.
with e-immigration?
The short answer is a lot. I think the exciting thing to always talk about is features.
Hmm.
So I can go into maybe a few different categories of feature updates. Um, I think starting with AI because that's obviously the name of the game right now. Um, an AI assisted feature that we've put out that I'm really excited about is called our intelligent form intakes package, and this essentially levels up the form intake process for caseworkers and their clients. I'd love to go into more detail on that after giving this overview of some other features. Um, but beyond that, on the AI front, we have something called the Report AI feature, and like the name suggests, it is a simplification to reporting. Obviously, reporting is a big part of any case management system, or it should be. And running custom reports in any case management system isn't necessarily the most intuitive thing, especially to less um, uh, tech friendly users that aren't used to working with software. So what we've done with our reporting engine is we've created a interface that allows you to speak to it like you're speaking to a human. So you would write in some text like with ChatGPT. How many cases are my caseworkers working on? Or do we have any clients that have children that are turning 20 this year? Or can you list all the H-1B cases? You can get really specific. Can you list all the H-1B cases created in this part of Texas within the last 3 months? So you can go very simple with it. You can go very sophisticated with it. Obviously, this simplifies the approach to reporting. But for your power users, it also gives them the ability to get into certain data points that they might not be able to get into with the standard reporting mechanism. So it's kind of cool with a feature like this, as with AI generally, to see how it could help users that are maybe newer and less familiar, but also the power users. So that's another one that I found really exciting and that's getting a lot of good feedback. But beyond AI, we've put out a couple new integrations in the last couple months. One is with the HubSpot CRM, which has been pretty popular. What's even more popular, given that this is immigration, is WhatsApp, where many caseworkers communicate with foreign nationals through WhatsApp. So to be able to now use that directly through e-immigration, see all your messages together along with emails you might have and forms and maybe even standard text messages. I think it just supports the broader theme of trying to consolidate everything in one place and having one platform that manages everything. And that's gotten a lot of really uh, good feedback so far. And then the last category of features, I'll just say, it's a catch-all of enhancements. So we already had some pretty sophisticated case status tracking. Now that's available on a real time basis from the USCIS. It tracks the history of case statuses. We've made updates to our trust accounting facility where essentially there are more automations that you could use within that. And we've had a major upgrade to our eFiling technology where previously it was only available for Windows users through a program that you would use, but now it's browser based. So
Very cool.
our Mac users who've been requesting this for a while are very excited about it.
For sure, for sure. I want to make comments on all these. This is like a lot, so it's pretty cool. So e-file is really important. We just recently got into it, and it was like I was like, oh, it saves so much time. I can't believe this is there. One problem we do have
Yeah.
generally is not the software problem, but it's like the partner state. They just have glitches on their website that becomes really problematic. Even when I want to just log into a client's account or to review their DS260 or upload something, it becomes so annoying with them. But the case status updates are really interesting. There's some other software companies that are coming that are just doing case status updates, but you kind of like, you kick the legs underneath them how to hit your software is interesting.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp is so important. I I hate talking on my phone, so if it was possible, I think every foreign national we'd work with would want to WhatsApp me all day. But I hate typing my phone. That kind of interaction where I'm a computer. I'll just sit on my desk and type on my keyboard. I don't like to type my thumbs. That becomes so key. And with regards to the reporting and the connection with the CRM is so important. It's about 2 years now that I finally sat down and we've been inputting our data properly into our systems, not haphazardly. And once you accumulate it over time, then it becomes really powerful because you get so much data. Like for example, this Trump administration is potentially bringing back DACA and having this nuanced aspect for Texas. If you just ask it, okay, which clients are in Texas, which are not, or DACA just coming back, go in our back database of people who had DACA, who they didn't renew it or don't have it. We had this program called that Biden tried to do, but he was sued, so you have to stop it. But like, okay, all those people could potentially be DACA now. It's like, and I can more easily now go back and find those clients. Whereas before, I just didn't think about it and spent hours just going through caseload to find out who it was. But obviously, the AI itself is the most interesting aspect that's happening. It's the sexiest thing. I read a report today that most of the funding, more than 50% of funding for new companies and startups is going towards AI related stuff. So it's there's probably some sort of bubble happening in there, but inevitably, like the .com bubble, the internet's going to be made through these kind of investments. Now, some companies are doing like I see the AI companies are coming and they're doing like nonsense and they're getting money, but those will fall by the way. And the people who are like real players in there and like had a business before and will have a business after, they're the ones who are going to really develop it, like the Amazons and eImmigration in your case in the vendor space. And it's just not like a one-off thing. It's part of a larger, hardcore project that's there. So that's really neat. I'm sure that creates a lot of work to do. Each one of these is a lot of work, let alone doing all at the same time. What do you think is different from these kind of products that you're creating than what's on the market today?
Yeah, so I know earlier I mentioned our intelligent form intakes product that we just put out, and maybe I can describe that a little bit to give you a sense what of how that's different than what we previously had and what's on the market. So, like I mentioned, this is a way of leveling up the process of client intake, and it's as easy as selecting a governmental form. So let's say the I-130, selecting the client that you want to send it to, and then selecting a language, if you'd like, that you want both the intake questionnaires and the actual form translated to. Um, And what this does is it sends your client what we call a form package, or I guess the full name is intelligent form intake package, but we kind of shortened that to form package now. And this package includes both any relevant questionnaires for the, let's say, for the I-130 in this case, and then a emulation of the actual USCIS form itself, the I-130. And I said earlier that this entire package has the ability to be translated. It's not just the questionnaire that gets translated, but the actual form itself can get translated to, I think, one of 13 languages is what we support now, and that's growing. And that's raised a lot of eyebrows because in the market today, um, there are other solutions that have great intake facilities, great questionnaires, but if they have translations, it is just for that questionnaire, not for the actual USCIS form. And that's something that only we can offer because we have our own electronic forms technology.
Very cool. And now there's been this mission for immigration, particularly this year, of helping immigration professionals, lawyers, paralegals, case managers, to keep calm in all the chaos that's happened since January and new administration. How do these products align with that mission?
Yeah, I think that we're um, constantly trying to seek ways to make casework easier for attorneys, paralegals, and any other immigration caseworkers. That's our mission. But we know that your mission is to provide a, top of the line client experience to your clients, and to do so in a way that's efficient, productive, secure, and hopefully bring some cost savings back because it's difficult running a business. Um, but I mean, just double clicking on one of those, client experience, I think this solution um, speaks for itself. So again, with these translations, not just for the questionnaires, but also for the forms, it presents an obvious benefit to foreign nationals who are commonly dealing with communication barriers that make it difficult for those who are not fluent in English to complete questionnaires or forms. And this can result in numerous rounds of back and forth with the caseworkers, which can cause significant delays and ultimately affect eligibility and case outcomes. So I think that's a major area that within immigration, specifically translations, that I'm optimistic about technology, not just ours, but others as well, will continue to improve. But then beyond the translations, as far as client experience goes, like I mentioned, put this form package. First of all, you can send it through SMS or email, or through a passwordless um, intake mechanism, which I think is more commonly appealing when you're dealing with clients who, again, might not be as technologically sophisticated. Sending them a link ends up being a little easier than logging into a client portal and all of that. But having all these questionnaires, or let's say it's just one questionnaire and the form together, there are some clients who want to just look at a questionnaire. And we know that we have some law firm some, I'll call them customers, some law firm customers that only want to deal with questionnaires because they don't want their clients to see forms. And we respect that. And that's why we have our questionnaires as an option for those customers. But there are some customers and clients that do want to see the actual form. I know that when I'm filling out forms, let's say, I don't know, for a doctor's appointment or something, and they might have, questionnaires around that, I get confused as I'm filling things out. And sometimes I just want to see the actual thing that they're asking for. And this analogy applies as well in immigration when you have clients who might want to see, okay, well, you're asking me this question, but why are you asking me this? Or what does this actually mean? What is the broader context? So, long way of saying, seeing the actual form builds trust. And the cool thing about this is you're not doing double entry. As you fill out the questionnaire, let's say if a client wants to fill out that questionnaire within the package, the form will automatically update with their answers so they can see how that's mapping through. And again, all of this is in their language, which could be one of 13, and that's increasing. So having all of that in one place, consolidated, obviously it's more streamlined. It's a little more clear than a bunch of emails going back and forth. It's in their language, and this also creates time savings for the caseworker who isn't figuring out every time, well, which questionnaires do I need to send for which forms. The AI that we have automatically figures that out for you and creates the package and sends it, which when you're working on many forms, many clients a week, those time savings add up.
Yeah, it's interesting because you made a good point. Sometimes clients like don't believe that we need all this information, and they get frustrated. Like, why ask me all this stuff? And it's like, no, I swear, I'm not. I'm not being nosy. This is the government's being nosy. So they have that deal to see like the grand picture. You're like, oh, this is what they require. They ask you for. It helps a lot to calm down the clients and get the information you need without them skipping it or just doing a half job instead of like paying attention and doing it in detail. We have a case right now where if we had this, we started the case a year ago or 2, 3 years ago, frankly. And if we had this 2, 3 years ago at the beginning, it would have saved some headache and extra 2 or 3 hours of work I have to do right now because they're just constantly inconsistent with the information they give us and having to go back and forth and meet and asking why they said this. It would have just solved that at the beginning.
Yeah, we think that's the case. Intake is such a crucial part of case
Mhm.
management. So it, in thinking how can we use AI to improve our product, this ended up being a no brainer.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. If people want to reach out to immigration and do a demo and things like that, what's the best way they can get started?
Our website is get.eImmigration.com. You'll see an ability to request a demo on the top right of the site. You can also reach out to our sales team by email or phone if you just want to ask questions. We offer a free trial of our product, or if you want to get started immediately, we offer that as well. But uh, for all the functionality that I described today, both the functionality I mentioned at the beginning and the intake package, we have videos of all of these on our YouTube page called eImmigration Academy. So sometimes it's easier to see these things visually. I know I was trying to describe it with words, but sometimes you just got to see the thing to get it. And we think that it'll impress attorneys, whether they've used case management software before or not.
Yeah, I've been to the YouTube page. You have an answer for everything that people could potentially want. It was a lot of videos. I was very happy to see that. And also, you have a Instagram page that's growing. E-immigration underscore by underscore Cerenade. And one thing that's important to follow on Instagram is you're doing a lot of seminars. We had one with the stress coach and what was it called? Dude, I forgot his name, the gentleman's name, but that was helpful. And you're talking with Visa AI about your partnership, how that works. So to get notified of these, obviously you'll be on the newsletter list, but I would add that to my Instagram following so you could get those coming in your feed. I believe it's e-immigration underscore by underscore Serenade. I believe that's the correct Instagram page.
Yeah, that's it. If you go to our main website, get.eImmigration.com. On the bottom left, you'll see URLs or buttons for all of our socials. And yes, we are increasingly putting out a variety of content, including webinars that don't only touch on our software and case management, because we know that obviously immigration attorneys are much more than just their case management software. So we're increasingly thinking of resources and content and webinars and events that might be of interest, like that stress management skills webinar with Nikola Milinkovic, which we had like, I think we had like 300 people attend. It was great. And I hope that, yeah, I'm hoping that some of the tips he gave will help um, everyone. Our motto this year is keep calm with immigration. I hope that what Nicola provided will also help with this broader theme of keeping calm during what is a understandably hectic time in this world.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much for that. Thanks for coming on the show again. And I hope we connect soon next quarter to update everybody because I'm sure next quarter you'll have some Jetson style futuristic things. Jetsons the cartoon when I was a kid. I might be too old. People don't know, but it really seems like we're
No, I
going.
love the
Yeah.
Jetsons.
So it seems like we're getting there. Joel, thanks again for coming on.
Thanks for having me, John. Always love being on the show.